extra time?
I think there's a couple of parts to this question. From a player perspective, I don't feel like I've been unfairly targeted. I mean, there's referring to some of the articles around appointments and my appointment and the appointment of the staff, I think those are extremely unfair. And I think it was good to see the president put that straight in an article this morning. I feel that there is a slight agenda with some things that are being said. But internally, there is, I think, all these leaked documents and trying to create some stories out in the media. Certainly, I do feel that there is a plan at play at times. But, again, I've got to come back to my value system and why I got involved in this job. Cricket South Africa courted me for a while. I went through the same interview process as everybody else in getting the job. I actually turned it down. I tried to in the end, not be a part of it. And when I got involved in December, I mean, it was absolute chaos within South African cricket. There was zero trust with anyone within the organization. But my value system was that I got involved because, I've got cricket at heart. I feel that I can add value to the game. I feel that I could be a part of the solution in terms of working within, Cricket South Africa and the players in getting us to perform well again, to help the organization financially, to bring my relationships and my thinking and share that with people and again, be a part of the solution. So, my objective remains the same. I'm a cricket person. That's why I got involved. And I feel like, at times that gets, messed with because of all the other stuff that's going on around the scenes. And again, if people feel, I don't feel like I'm going to be perfect in this job. I don't feel like I'm going to get everything right, but my intentions are good. My value systems are good. I know that. And I want to be a part of, improving the game. If there's other people that feel that there's better people for this position, then they must tell me. I mean, I'm by no means hungry to stay in this position for the rest of my life. I've got other opportunities that I enjoy and want to be a part of, but my goal is to hopefully be a part of creating a better Cricket South Africa. And, I do feel at the moment that there's an element that's pulling in a lot of different directions. There's a lot of maybe internal agendas at play. And I'd like to, try and align some of this stuff now going forward, in particular from a cricket perspective. I guess that's my major role. And I'd like to get back to hopefully, performing that role. And it was sad to see South African cricket fall off that perch, and I think that's why I got involved. So when times are tough, you've got to revisit. Sometimes it's very easy to get caught in the noise, to get caught in, sort of the chaos around you, the emotion. And I keep having to revisit why I got involved. And that's to really want to improve South African cricket. And as I've said a number of times, be a part of the solution. I think, when I joined in December, it was chaotic. It's feeling chaotic again. I try and understand what the motive is at times for these internal leaks. What is the end game? What are people trying to create? And it's sad because at the end, the only thing that suffers is our game and the future of our game. And I think that's why I want to be involved. That's why I'm here. But certainly it does raise question marks over whether you can achieve in this role and be successful in it. I can understand where people are coming from, but I think this narrative of click taking over is really unfair. I was appointed by a really vigorous process, of mainly Black African people in my interviews that felt I was, the president, a number of conversations with him. So I didn't go and appoint myself. That was handled within Cricket South Africa, the interview process, the people that were put in place to make the decisions. So by no means that I fight to be in this position. And I've made it clear why I got involved. I made a number of appointments in December, not only Mark Boucher, permanent staff of Volvo, the team manager, Justin Ontong, Charles Langeveld, Mark Boucher, Enoch Inkwe, and the medical staff that are currently with the team. And Paul Harris's appointment was around Keshav Maharaj requesting to work with him, and he was only a consultant for that test series because that was at Keshup's request. Jacques Kallis hasn't been on the payroll at Cricket South Africa for many months now. He worked as an interim consultant with Cricket South Africa. I think that is important to clarify. None of those appointments are part of permanent management. I know it likes to be communicated that way, but I think it's important to clear up some of these things. You ask me whether I think Jacques Kallis is one of the best batting coaches and batting cricketers we've ever had. I'll tell you yes. Do I feel that he has a role to play within South African cricket? Geez, I mean, it would be stupid of us not to involve our most successful cricketer and the experiences and the batting experiences that he could bring to our young batters. But I understand, and again, some of these guys that I think have gripes were approached and were spoken to. While I'm aware of it, while I understand it, I think a balanced approach and a balanced discussion to these things is always key. But I felt that the team needed a strong leader. I think Mark's done enough coaching at domestic level. He's had a lot of success. I feel that his personality and his international experience was what was required at the time. And in partnering with Enoch, I feel that the two of them can form a really strong partnership going forward. I feel that was an important dynamic that needed to be respected and thought of at the time. And that's why I feel that I do feel that Mark and Enoch are the right team to take South African cricket forward with their fellow bowling coaches, fielding coaches, and whatever consultants we use in the future. I still have no doubt about that. I think that, we've also got to respect the organization and things need to be done. But I don't think it's the be all and end all of an international coach. No. I was very taken aback by Mackie's stuff. Having played with Mackie, I never thought of him as a silent person. When I got into the environment, he was a senior player already. In my conversations about why he ran to the ground, his explanations to me were different at the time. He never raised anything with me. Culturally, I can imagine, and I sit back and think, at times being the only sort of Black African from his walk of life must have been tough, and maybe an awareness around that is something that I didn't have. I'm certainly have considered that and thought about that. And I think in 2010, when we opened the channels for sharing in the culture camp that we had there, I mean, that became really a real and powerful experience for me. So as I said, there's some elements that really surprised me, man. And we've got to own and listen and as I said, be a part of the solution, going forward. I know Mackie's son is making his way through the system, and it's important that no one else feels this way. Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm involved with the social justice program with Cricket South Africa, and I think the initial thing is to listen. And I think internally, with regards to the current Proteas setup and the build-up to that Solidarity Cup, I think that's exactly what happened. Is that a real opportunity to have open conversation, to listen to everyone talk. To understand everyone's ideas and thoughts around the process. And I think that's why everyone decided to take the knee in the Solidarity Cup, to show solidarity with each other, and to hopefully create a better environment going forward. I think a number of things have been surprising that have come out, and I think that the most important thing is that, from a culture perspective, that we've got to create an environment going forward that everyone feels safe to communicate and to talk. I think the thing that has surprised me the most is that there were, players in the past that never felt that they had a voice or could feel comfortable enough to communicate. And I think as part of my role as director of cricket, as part of my role in my department's role, we're going to have a very big influence on how things move forward. So, I think initially it's about listening, it's about communicating. I have engaged with a few players that are involved in the 40, and we'll look to engage more. Hopefully Cricket South Africa will involve us in that process now. We were meant to be in that first meeting, and the board asked us to not be a part of it for the first one. So, going forward, I really would like the opportunity to engage and be a part of the solution.
Hit the subscribe option and the bell icon to get all the exclusive sports videos on Extra Time.